Hello, everybody. Boy, that was rough off the bat. Let me try that one more time. Hello, everyone. I'm Duke Skyloafer. Welcome to the channel. I want to take a brief moment here to talk real quick about something new that's been added to the channel, which is channel memberships. This is probably going to be one of the only times that I mention this because it's not something I'm trying to push, but I want to have a statement out here, something I can refer people back to in case they have to ask about. So yes, I do have channel memberships now. I've been approved for that. You can become a member if you so choose. So this is my spiel about it. I know money is tight right now. I know you probably have better things to spend it on than some random YouTuber who's mediocre at your favorite games. That's why I'm not really pushing this, okay? I'm not going to be blocking any content behind the membership. For the foreseeable future, there won't be any like member specials or members only chat or anything like that. There's not going to be any early releases for members. Everyone gets all the content all the time. It's going to be just kind of like, you know, Space Engineers DLC, where it's like, you know, you're buying the DLC really to support the company, and you are getting something nice in return. You're getting some, you know, skins and meshes, basically. So this is entirely, from my point of view, a show of support, and I've kind of crafted it that way specifically so that it doesn't pressure people to do the membership if they don't want to, right? So please only consider it if you do really want to support me and the channel financially. It is still an excellent show of support simply to watch the videos, to be in the chat, to comment on them, to be part of the live streams. That is also a fantastic way of showing support. So no pressure from me. No shame for, you know, if you don't do it. I'm probably not going to push it after this. So I'm making my big statement now, and then that's going to be it. So, what would happen with membership money? You know, I don't do this for money. I do this because it's fun, and I didn't ever expect it to get to the point where I would be allowed to monetize it. So, any little bit would just be a bit of an extra. I would use it for probably, you know, helping to fund community projects we could do together, like servers, and it would just be motivation to keep on doing what I'm doing, basically. So the details are, membership is $2.99 a month USD, or whatever the equivalent is in your country, and that's it. It's just a recurring fee. You know, there's no contracts. Whatever the YouTube terms are for memberships, you know, cancel whenever. You get a badge next to your name in the chat that changes over time for however many months you've been a member. You do get custom emojis that I've created and uploaded. You get your name on the starting and ending screens. You get priority in chat, meaning if I see a member talking, I will automatically respond to you first, which isn't a huge deal right now since I pretty much talk to everybody in chat, because there's not usually more than like 2 or 3 people in chat at a time. But it's, you know, looking toward the future, perhaps someday that will be a big deal. I don't know. So I'm also looking into ways that I could maybe add some perks to the Discord as well. At the very least, like something by your name in the Discord to say that you're a member. I don't know. We'll figure something out. TBD on that. So in case you're wondering why I'm doing this and not something like Patreon, it's just because I'm lazy and this is the easiest thing to do. It's just a couple of buttons and it's all integrated into YouTube and I don't have to go to a whole separate place. So maybe I would change my mind about that in the future, but we'll see. So whether you do or don't become a member, I just want to say I appreciate everybody who watches week after week, who has helped take this channel to beyond what I imagined it could be when I started, you know, streaming to 0 people week after week after week. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much, everybody. So, all that said, let's play some games, huh? I am here. Yes, here. In this game called Space Engineers number 2. It's a nice looking game, I gotta say. Now, I didn't get to play much before now because I was working today. But I did kind of pop in very briefly before the stream and walk around a little bit and do some stuff. So I haven't memorized all of the buttons. I'm sure there's a lot of quirks I'm going to have to figure out, but I will say it's nice looking. Very, very nice looking. Still some anti-aliasing issues that they need to work out, but it's got FSR for anti-aliasing, which is nice. Let's take a bit of a walk around. I want to kind of try every feature that's in this vertical slice. So if you're not familiar with it, and I was surprised by the number of people I've been seeing in various different places who were like shocked that this was not the entire full game. I don't know, how they managed to hear about this game and yet not have heard anything about this game up until this point. They've been talking about it for so long. But anyway, you'll notice in the top left corner it does say alpha. This isn't even a beta. This is early access. This is basically the minimum viable thing that they feel they can let the public into, and they're doing it in vertical slices, which is kind of like a software development term for front end. Well, normally it's like a front end to back end feature is a vertical slice. If you think about layers of software as like horizontal layers going from top to bottom, a vertical slice is like everything from the UI down to the servers. So it's basically like a feature. So this feature is all creative mode. So this is vertical slice. I don't have the roadmap of what the order of the next vertical slices is, but there's in between the vertical slices, there's expected to be smaller updates where they're just like bug fixing and maybe adding minor features here and there. So like creative mode vertical slice is one, and then there'll probably be a couple of updates where they're like improving on creative mode a little bit. And then, because there's a lot of things missing, there's a lot of things that just aren't here yet. Like I said, this is the minimum viable, I don't even want to say MVP. This is like the minimum viable thing that could be called a game, right? Like we're at the Star Citizen level of space engineers. And I mean that in however you want to take that. I don't remember the order of the other vertical slices, and I'm too lazy to go look it up, but the other ones include like multiplayer, which will be either late this year or early next year. Planets is one. Water is toward the end. Water on planets, actual liquid water. Survival mode will be coming up. I think I want to say the next vertical slice is mod support, but I don't remember 100%. So either way, I want to try to go through every single feature and just try to experience it a little bit here, and we'll fool around with building grids when I figure out how to do. Oh, there it is. Couldn't get my HUD to come back. The HUD is interesting, and my opinion of it hasn't changed since I saw the original screenshots, which something about it feels both new and different and exciting and fresh, and also yet somehow feels older than Space Engineers 1 because it's less refined. And I think maybe it's like the blue and the orange and just the fact that there's so much, like, I don't know, like the shadow on the text somehow makes it harder to read than easier because of like just nothing is refined, right? Like it's all minimum viable game here. So oh no, my mouse. There we go. My mouse. There it is. So one thing I noticed right away is that the textures of the ground actually have a parallax effect in them. They are flat. Technically, the geometry of this is flat, but it does have a parallax effect on the right. Is there a way to slow my walking? My crouch? There we go. There's a parallax effect on the ground in the divots, depending on how the light's shining on it, which is cool. A lot of modern games have that, and now this one does too. So there's that. You may notice the lighting looks a lot nicer. The original game also had a level of ray tracing that was not real time, but it was there. And this one also has it to a certain degree as well. Like if you look here, there are real-time reflections, but just like in the old game, they take a minute to update. So they're not entirely real-time, but they're close. It's kind of the same as the old game. But yeah, overall the lighting is much improved. It's a little bit more realistic. The shadows are a little deeper. Reminds me of SE1 with certain mods that affect the skybox, and change how the shadows work to make the shadows deeper and such like that. So there's a lot of like post-processing mods for SE1 that kind of resemble this, but here we are. Overall though, I think it looks really good. Like you could see kind of the you know, the lighting reflects more off of the, and I'm sure they built this specifically to show off these different features, you know, but like the lighting really does a much better job of reflecting off of the metal surfaces and everything. And shadow casters are better, you know, like there's less bleed through and such. There's also not a lot of super functional things in this yet. Like this is a crate. There's a cargo container. I can't get into it. Which is fine because I have nothing to put in it. So, but at the moment, it is just a block that is sitting there. Sorry, I just got hit with a autosave. This thing over here is the assembler that we were looking at. It looks to be this entire gigantic thing with what appears to be some upgrade ports, or perhaps, let's see, actually. I got so used to not having a jetpack in my other series that, but yeah, this seems to be maybe power and speed, I'm gonna guess. Maybe, so these are maybe upgrade ports for specific things. Power and speed, perhaps? I don't know. Caution, moving parts. It would be very cool if they eventually made this actually animated like the gyroscopes are. You know? But the glass looks really nice. The glass actually does look really good. Like the reflections on the glass look really good. Yeah, the way the glass is clearly curved. Like visually this game looks really good. Yeah, gameplay wise, not much here. And part of the reason I'm doing this, and I know, you know, tons of people are streaming this, so I appreciate everybody who's watching right now, me, instead of like however many other Space Engineer streamers are out there doing this same thing. So you had a choice in Space Engineer streamer and you chose me. Inexplicably, but I appreciate it. This thing up here that looks like a big refinery is the refinery. 7.5 meters. Is that how tall it is? I don't know why it's saying refinery 7.5 m. I don't know what it's... I mean, I guess it could be 7.5 meters. I don't know. I don't know how to work this thing. Okay. Oh, we're going to have to talk about that. Okay. We'll come back to that. That'll bother me in a little bit. This is the new terminal, as long as I'm standing here. Obviously, they need to refine some things here. It's janky, just in terms of look. Like, there's weird... I don't know. I don't like the color. I think that's mainly the only thing, is I don't really like the color. I think the orange and the blue, which is normally a combination I like, don't really like it here, but whatever. Color is not the worst thing. This I like. This is the grid, the platform. So everything on this grid is grouped under here. And you can just expand this out. So you know how in SE1, how I meticulously and painstakingly put a prefix in front of every single block so that I can tell which grid it's on? I don't have to do that anymore because it's all grouped. Everything is just grouped for which grid it's on. I don't know how this will work when you have subgrids. Because subgrids technically also have their own names. It's just you can't always see them. But like if you had a cockpit on a grid and a subgrid, which in SE1 they're subgrids, grids and subgrids are both subgrids of each other. But from the game's perspective, there's not like a main grid and a subgrid. It's just all subgrids. If you put a cockpit on both of them and sit in it, they each have different names. So how will that look here? I don't know. We don't have any concept of subgrids yet. That's not a thing. But we got like this nice big button for powered on and powered off. And it looks like these don't work yet, but it looks like you'll be able to copy. Oh, there we go. I guess I just can't copy unless it's the same. I can't copy from a group. That makes sense. So if I had a light and I changed its color to something else, like a blue, I could copy that light. Oh, now there's a whole bunch of things here. I could copy those settings and paste them on a different light or group of lights. And yeah, I mean, that's awesome. That's one of the features of build vision that I sometimes use, but pretty rarely because I forget about it. So yeah, that's cool. I like this little pop-up thing that tells you about the thing you're looking at. I hope eventually that can say more things. I'd like to be able to know more stuff about what I'm looking at. Let's go down this spooky hallway and see what's... Oh, there's nothing. I thought this went around the corner. Well, never mind then. I was going to go down a spooky hallway. I guess that's where we could start our mine if I had mining equipment. In terms of the art direction for the new game, it definitely looks way more consistent. Space Engineers 1 suffered from the, like, changing design aesthetics over time, like the original design aesthetic, which was super simple and just designed to get things out the door quickly. Like, let's focus on the functionality and we'll figure out the visual language later. This game, they have not done that. This game, everything is a, like, well-considered final model. Like, they'll probably tweak the models at some point, but, like, this is clearly what it's designed to look like. You know, these stairs look very cool. You know. The voxel textures also look very cool. Again, just like with what I said about there, like the voxel textures are the voxels themselves, the meshes are technically still smooth like the old voxels, but they've got parallax. Is it tessellation? I forget what the modern name for this style is, but like it's a post-processing effect that raises and lowers the surface. That's more complex than like bump maps or normal maps, but it you know, it actually does appear to raise and lower the surface to give it bumps. It's very cool. Let's fly on up and take a walk, because one thing I did notice is that now there's some artificial gravity here somewhere somehow, but there's a little bit of jank to the running and walking, but like his feet, you can kind of see his feet kind of jangling about a little bit. That's because it has... what's the word for it? Kinematics? Is that the word for it? Where the feet... the feet actually touch what they touch. Like, it's not just an animation that's devoid of interaction with anything. Like, it actually interacts with the surface, and if he's going up a hill, his feet will stop when they hit, you know, the ground. And so... at the moment, that makes his feet look a little jiggly when he's running around on a surface like this. But, that was a loud sound effect. But in the future, when they refine that a little bit, it'll look good. And that's not a new feature, obviously, for Space Engineers. That's been around in tons and tons of video games. So, a lot of the stuff I'm pointing out is basically like not as like a... wow, this is the most advanced game that's ever been created. Look at all these features they invented. It's really like I'm just comparing to Space Engineers 1 what they have put in the new game that wasn't in the old game. Although the old game also did have the feet thing, I think. I'm pretty sure I remember some goofiness with the feet occasionally getting weird when it was trying to go up, like especially when you're crouching and doing stuff. So I think it did have the... oh, that was weird. I couldn't crouch the whole time. Anyway, the new backpack is cool. I like that his limbs are still dangly, like in the old game. They still just kind of flop about. The cable on his belt there is currently believed to be purely cosmetic. They said it doesn't do anything, but I think they're lying. I think it's going to do something. I think it's going to be a whole vertical slice about cabling. That's what I think. I think he's actually like an IT guy, and he's going to come fix my Ethernet for me. Let's see, what else can we do? So yeah, I think the voxels look really cool. We're going to fly a mining ship in a little bit, I think. One of those is a mining ship. I don't have a human-sized... and I don't have any tools on me. All I've got is ships. We're definitely going to smash some ships into each other before this is over. And I have a feeling that ship, per tradition, is going to smash into that ship. As I said, per tradition. But we'll see how that goes. We'll see if the game crashes when we do that. The flame effects look very cool. Like, these finally feel like actual thruster effects. And I feel like this is even like some of the earlier trailers didn't even have the... maybe I'm misremembering, but maybe they didn't look as good or we didn't see them up close enough. But I think the new thruster effects look very cool. They look like actual, like, almost realistic, almost photorealistic, as opposed to definitely cartoony, which is what it was in the old one. Let's go into this base and see. I'm interested in exploring this place that they've built, because that's a giant landing gear. That makes sense. There's always giant upside down landing gears. Ooh, why is it blinking? Why is it blinking? Is it not locked? I bet it's not locked. It's probably ready to lock. Oh, I like that. I like the blinking. I like the bling a lot. Yeah, you can really see from the let's see, how does this work if I get really close? Yeah, you can kind of see from the way it's a little glittery. Like if you look at this surface right here, right above the light, that metal surface right above the light, and how it kind of sparkles a little bit when the light turns on, I'm pretty sure that's from the global illumination. So they could work on that. I mean, a lot of games suffer from that. That's kind of that could be from the FSR too. But I do like how, like, light affects everything, which is really nice. Like, you could even see, like, right here, how the light turns on and shines right there. The specular. I think that's specular. I don't know. I'm talking out my ass on a lot of this stuff. Okay. The sound effect seems slightly delayed. And also, it's the same sound effect no matter what metal thing I land on. There's a cool little light. I'm not going to start destroying stuff yet. We will get to that part. Alright, let's go, anything over this way? Just space. Really cool design for stuff. I wonder, with the unified grid system, how hard it was to, like, get in the headspace of, like, you can use multiple different sizes of things, and you know, you're limited by the number of blocks and everything. Hey, Toshiro, welcome to the stream. Do I have a headlight yet? Oh, I do. Ooh. Oh, it's just the hole. You never know if where you're going is going to lead to, like, an Easter egg, or you're going to fall out of space. Am I out of gravity now? No, we're still in gravity. I don't know if there... I guess there's a... Oh, wait. There we go. Oh, okay, so now we are... This is what I wanted to see. We are out of the artificial gravity now. And so... Oh, now we're back in gravity. Now we're back out of gravity. Let me go over here. Nope, I want to go... There we go. Because what I wanted to look at is how smooth is the camera now when you're running on a surface. Oh, that is so nice. That is nice. Okay, well, I'm kind of messed up there, but that is way less janky than before. That's nice. And this is some weirdly shaped surfaces, too. Let's see how this works. Oh, well, I guess that was to be expected. Okay, let's head back. Oh, that was some good braking. Hang on. Where's my speed? Okay, there's speed there. Oh. So we're safe. Well, I don't know how safe the character is, but we're safe up to 20 meters per second. And I kind of feel like that's a little much. Like, I kind of feel like it should be closer to maybe 10 or 15. Just looking at how long it takes to get up to 20 meters per second. You know, like, until I experienced it in the game, I wasn't quite sure, because I was like, the first game has like an interesting sense of speed where sometimes you think you're going really slow, but you're actually going very fast. And so, like, 20 meters per second in the original game feels pretty slow, even though 20 meters per second is rather fast. But here's how long it takes to get up as a person, and how long it takes to get up to 20 meters. About that long. So that would hurt. Anyway, let's see. Oh yeah, let me show you guys what the graphics settings I have on are, and I could tell you I have a very good PC. So I have everything up to high, but not extreme. There is an extreme setting. I'm not using extreme. I would recommend you don't use extreme. It's probably useless. So far, and I've got anti-alias on FSR. It's got FXAA and FSR, which is the let's see, choose FXAA for smoother edges with minimal performance, though it may blur slightly, or FSR to upscale. Oh, that's interesting. I assumed the FSR was just anti-aliasing. I wonder if it is doing actual upscaling. If it is, I haven't noticed any artifacts of it. Let me see if... Oh, that looks markedly worse. Oh. Yeah, if your GPU supports... Oh, look at down there where those stairs are. I hope that's coming through on the stream. Kind of, maybe it's not. It's kind of just really, really sparkly. Let's turn this back to FSR. Yeah, and that sparkle's completely gone away now. Yeah, FSR is definitely the way to go. FXAA, that's fast approximate anti-aliasing, I think is what it is. That's truly like the bottom barrel of anti-aliasing. Yeah. So it makes sense that with all the advanced light rendering, it kind of struggles with that. But FSR is good. That's AMD's technology for upscaling. So, but it can also, if you do, just like with DLSS, if you use it at native resolution, then it just produces really nice anti-aliasing. So, that's what I assume they're using it for. If they are using it for upscaling, that's nice, because I'm getting great frame rates. They're not... I don't know. I want to say this feels like 60 frames per second. I know the stream tops out at 60 frames per second, so you're not going to see anything, no matter what, but I'm pretty sure... I have vertical sync turned on, and my monitor's running at 120 hertz, but... actually, let me turn vertical sync off. Where was that at? So I cranked my field of view up to 80. That's where I like it. Speedometer, I'm keeping at meters per second for now, but I might change that in the future. I'm just used to it in Space Engineers. Autosave on, toast notifications on. I haven't seen one yet, but... Oh, user contact. This is an interesting one. If you, if the game crashes, you can turn this to on and then enter like your email address or some way for them to get a hold of you. And so if you submit a bug report, they'll be able to contact you and get more information from you. So I'll probably turn that on at some point, but because I don't mind if they reach out to me. UI background. Oh yeah, this is another one I wanted to mess with, which is kind of cool. Completely black or completely transparent. I think I'm going to put it maybe around like 60 actually. And then I turn this hide crosshair with HUD on, that when I hide the HUD, the little dot in the middle goes away. Vertical sync. Let's see, if I set it to none. This is in case anyone was wondering. Oh, it's not going to show it. So what I have is a Ryzen 9 7950X3D chip, which is like the top of the line from the last generation. So it's technically outdated now, but it was a good chip. And then a 4080. So 64 gigs of RAM. So it's a beefy computer, right? It should be able to handle pretty much anything. At the moment, I believe, now let's see, if I take vertical sync off, actually it does look a little bit smoother to me. I might be getting higher frames without vertical sync. But like I said, you only get 60 frames a second max on the stream, so you wouldn't be able to tell anyway. But yeah, so far, I'll leave vertical sync off for now. Sometimes vertical sync can help with reducing stutter, but at the moment, I'm not getting any. So. But yeah, so far no crashes. I've heard a lot of people having crashes a lot, and not the red ship on blue ship type. But yeah, no crashes so far. So far it's been pretty stable. Yeah, the doors don't have doors in them yet. They are solid. These things can access the terminal, but they can't open and close the door because, as I said, the doors don't have doors. I'm guessing from the way this is shaped that this is the door, and that like this door, like this side will just slide all the way to the other side, because you can see how the indent there kind of goes there. The autosave is the thing that gets me so far, because there is a distinct freeze. I'm gonna leave autosave on though. I don't want to lose any of my fun progress later. Anyway, doors will be coming later. This though, what is this? I would love to know if this doesn't look like a combination of blocks. This looks like some block. Like that's clearly a armor block, but this is a functional block of some sort. Ah, it's the side of the medbay. Oh, okay. That's the thing about this game. When I was watching the the reactor. When I was watching the, I thought it said refractor, and I was like, what is that? Watching some of the early gameplay stuff and being like, is that a, looking at different things and being like, is that a block that we can put down, or is that a 2.5 millimeter 2.5 centimeter, there we go, block that's being used to create stuff like this thing here. What is this? What is this? Right there. Is it, I'm gonna guess it's the side of a catwalk, but like just the fact that you can like slap that on there and then keep building up, like that's awesome. Like I have to rethink how I do everything, because you can put down these gigantic, we're gonna have to talk about that. Okay, I'm gonna talk about this now. Scrolling the mouse, I keep expecting it to scroll through everything in the group, but what it's doing is it's scrolling through my bar. See how the orange is going? This is 1, 2, 3. I'm scrolling with the mouse right now. Oh, this thing is its own little beam. That's what these things are. Interior wall pillar. Very cool. Anyway, so yeah, so there's that. We could place it, clunk, and then I could remove it. Left click, right click. That's pretty easy. Now you could do size. You could push R to change the size, and then we get all the different variations of that. And we have symmetry. I also like this new grid. I can make if I push J, I'm now creating a brand new grid. This is a free-floating thing. It did not snap to the actual grid. It didn't snap to this one. I like that a lot, because I can imagine you might be wanting to, I want to build like a small grid ship or something. Well, small grid, you know what I mean. I want to build a small ship. I'm going to be saying that a lot. Just roll with me. You know what I mean? I want to make a small ship, and I don't want to build it off of this, right? It used to be you could drop a small grid block on a large grid, and it would just drop on it, right, and not connect to it. But now anything will connect to anything. So you could push J, and now you've started a new grid, and you could put that first block anywhere. So how do I not do it though? Change the distance. That's not doing anything. Q, W. Oh, this is going to take... Oh, this is actually kind of difficult to do. Okay, they're going to have to work on these controls a little bit. There we go. That's the distance change. Yeah, so holding control to rotate kind of makes sense, but it's just hard to do with my fingers. So Q, W, E, A... or ED, sorry, Q, W, E, D. Why do I keep saying Q? W, A, S, D. You know the usual buttons. W, A, S, D. WASD. Those are rotating it like this, and then Q and D rotate it along that axis. So I hope there is a way to... Oh. Oh. Oh, so that's how that works. Okay. Well, I hope there's a way to, at some point, change the... There we go. So when you're looking at it, what I was going to say was change how it snaps. Like, could I make it do it in 90-degree increments? Well, it's nice here. So this is a large grid. I'm going to call it large grid. This is the biggest grid size. And it is normally, if you're looking at other large blocks, it snaps to them on the same grid. Right? So if these are large blocks underneath it, they're snapping at the same size. But what if I don't want them to? I can hold control and get precision mode, and then I can put it anywhere. So now it is offset from the ground. And so now you could see when I'm trying to place it, if I'm looking at the ground, it's trying to do it off of those, but offset from this one, because it can't go where it wants to go. But if I look at this one, then it snaps off of that one. So that's pretty cool. It's going to take some getting used to, but like, ooh, boy, that's a lot of stuff. Let's see, auto rotate is Control R. Oh, what did that even do? Auto rotate. Control R. Now it rotated. I don't understand. I don't understand what that does. I see it rotating automatically, but I don't know what that means. So, I hope that at some point we can make the mouse wheel not scroll through, because I would rather just go back to pushing the numbers. Like, that makes sense to me, as opposed to scrolling. I'd rather scroll through the groups, right? To me, at least. And I don't care if people like it this way. You know, I just would, you know, I'm sure they will. They could add, they're going to probably add binding controls for everything, so eventually it'll be, I'll be able to map it however I want. I'm going to take a drink of water real quick, hang on. Good times. Okay. As you can see down at the bottom, it gives information. So snapping to the 0.5 meter right now. Then I think if we do R, yeah, now it says snapping at 2.5 meter. I thought R was the size. Why does it seem like... So I want... Okay, so that is that now. Well, this is... Okay, so it's not really the size, it would seem. Now it seems like I'm just scrolling through my actual group. Yeah. So R is just scrolling through the group for me, which is... I think the opposite. Oh, no, not the exact opposite, but it's not what I would have expected for this. And I don't like that I have to hold control and then rotate. I do like how when you're in precision mode, it shows you which of the smallest, you know, which of the 2.5 centimeter grid it's going to be covering, you know, which parts of the grid it's going to block. But, yeah, controls are a little... Controls need some work. I mean, I'm sure I can get used to it, but I am hoping that they will rebind that. Is it? I also feel like there's still a delay in the sound. Like it's like I rotate and it's like rotate, shh, rotate, shh. Well, whatever. The music is nice though. So there's that. Alright, so if I hold control and do control 2, 3, 4, I can still switch between all the bars. We have weaponry, Let's just go. I keep wanting to change using the old keybinds to rotate. Instead I have to push control and then I can rotate it. But there's one of our guns. It doesn't do anything because we don't have ammo yet. We've got, I should probably be doing this outside. But we've got our solar panel, which looks nice. We've got our cover wall, which is purely cosmetic since we can't shoot anybody yet. And there's nobody to shoot. Got our nice symmetrical med bay, which I dig. Got the button panel, which doesn't do anything yet. There's a bunch of them. Let's see if we go up here. There's one right here, and the buttons don't do anything. All you could do, power the whole thing on and off. Can't work. It's disabled. So, looks nice though. Like I said, I like the new design language of all this stuff. It's futuristic yet industrial. Like it's like it's kind of like the vibe that Starfield was trying to go for a little bit, but they tried too hard, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm probably not explaining that well, but like this feels like a not, you know, Star Trek The Next Generation LCARS type deal. You know, it's still tactile, but it's futuristic but industrial, you know. I like that there are more animated things. I can fly. I always forget that I can fly. No entry. Do not, repeat, do not crawl inside of here. Caught on. You might get caught on it. You can kind of see the eye in there. I bet you there's some good Easter eggs hanging around here. What's this say? There's a barcode. Oh, that barcode probably just says a number. I wonder what that number means. If that has a significance or not. I wonder if this thing has a significance. Uh-oh. Oh, my brain's starting to wonder. Are there significances? Are there significances? I might be up late debugging. Decoding. Warning. There's just some goop right there. Someone's got to clean that goop. Anyway. Oh, I bet the medbay's got some juicy stuff in it. Let's see. We got medbay. We got B7. Up, up, up. Air stage. More random stuff. O2, H2, buttons. I can't read anything on there, but it doesn't look like it's anything of note. Can I change what I look like? I doubt it. I don't think the player thing is... I kind of think it would be cool to, like, stand here. Like, you had to, like, stand here to heal yourself or something like that. Yeah. I hope they make a cool, like... Presumably this will still be your spawn point. I hope they make like a cool, like, we're printing you a new clone kind of animation, you know, where it's like, maybe like this thing starts with like a glass or something like that, and it's like all smoky, and then there's like a whoosh, and then you know, you're like, all right, back to go, die to clang again. I don't know. There's so much potential. Revision. Oh boy. I wish the character was not... Oh, there we go. If I hit caps lock, I walk around slower. That makes sense. I've not seen any keyboards on anything yet. I'm looking for keyboards, because they always hide the goods in keyboards. Whoa. There's an interesting... hang on. How did I get outside just a second ago? There we go. Now the camera is normal, but when I push V, and now I'm like... technically, yeah, there we go. See, like when you're on the external view, but like the camera has clipped back into myself, you know? If I go back here, then we'll eventually be back in here. There's like a weird smoothing, like I've stopped the mouse. I'm making short, small mouse movements, but it's kind of smoothing it out. There's a ramping like a rubber banding almost. Not a rubber banding, but like a easing function. Anyway. Neck's looking good. There's a nice looking neck hole, to be honest with you. Alright, anyway. Give me this. None of these have like a keypad. Like all the keypads in Space Engineers 1 have little messages written on them. I don't know if you all knew that. Go look at all the keypads. We'll find them. We'll find more. Does this do... There's no toolbar on here, I've noticed. There's no way to control the toolbar, but I can get into the thing here. There's still some... Like, they crammed a lot of stuff into this one release, to be honest. Like, there's a decent amount of stuff in here. So, this is the grav gen right here. Just sitting there. Is that's the reactor, right? No, this is the reactor. Oh, so the grav gen is this entire unit. So that thing is generating gravity. That's nice. I like that, it being a larger type of a thing with a control panel on it, as opposed to just being a little, you know, Penny Parker spider hive, if you know what I mean. Don't push that button. For sure. Don't push that button. You could crank up the AC, though. That's okay. Crank the mods up all the way. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool, cool. Cargo container. I like the new details on the cargo ports. It'd be nice if these actually opened. I don't know what you would see inside, but it'd be cool if they actually opened. Alright, let's keep walking through. I think that was... There was nothing else in here, right? This was the whole... Yeah, we came in that side, there's this room, and that's it. A lot of reflections on the windows, though. Alright, moving on through. Nothing over there. Then we got our big refinery here. We are already looking at this. It's also got the upgrade spots, which is nice. Oh, get up there. Here we go. Oh, here's a keyboard. I bet it's just got normal keys on it, though. Yeah. High voltage power supply. Power button. All the goods. Alright, let's go take a look at our... Take a look. Well, the red ship is the red ship. It's, I kind of want to take a look at the outside of it to see some of the detailing. I don't really want to tour the whole inside. But look how big these thrusters are. I mean, they're the same size as normal thrusters in the original game, but I feel like the sense of scale is better realized for some reason. I don't know why. But I feel like the sense of scale is getting me on this. Oh, I just love that we can make these custom little details like this. It's really nice. I actually really like the design of the new red ship. It's a nice little landing area. We are going to fly the red ship around in a little bit. Oh, this is awesome. I love this. That they put whatever this is, some sort of a panel thing around the outside with armor. Like, everything just looks cohesive, you know? Looks good. So many new possibilities. I am so thrilled. For those of you watching, if you have any thoughts, like, what are you looking forward to most? I mean, survival is definitely what I'm looking forward to most. I want to do a lot more multiplayer with Space Engineers 2 for sure. I barely did any with Space Engineers 1, but I love survival mode. Like, I'm not a creative mode player, so like, that's why I'm probably not going to play SE2 a lot until a couple more vertical slices come out, but we're going to have to fly over to the blue ship. We're going to take this mining ship over to the blue ship. Yeah, so I'm a survival mode player. I am very much looking forward to how they update survival. God, this ship just looks really good, but those beams on it and everything, like we're all just gonna have to change how we think about building, you know? Let's go mine something here. Okay, hold on, I'm gonna crash into this at... Yeah, see that, in SE1, even that would have been like... It wouldn't have damaged the drills, but it would have damaged, like, everything behind the drills, you know? Let's see, how fast do I have to go to get... Okay, so about right... We can get up to... Oh, no. Yeah, we hit it at 12. Yeah, that would have been... Yeah, I feel like 15 is probably a more reasonable... no damage speed, but... Let's see what we got going on here. Oh, good. They've... Looks like they've kind of toned down the fire effects a little bit. Or maybe not. Yeah, maybe they have a little bit. So... Nah, I think they still need to tone it down just a little bit. I like the idea that the drills get hot. And they make everything hot. Oh, I like that little puff of smoke that was there. Does this thing have lights on it? Yeah, it does. I like that little puff of smoke at the end there. But no, I like the idea that the drills... I'm going to see if I could do a better... That they get hot. You see how they like start to cast a light like that and it gets a little molten as they're drilling? I like that. I think the fire effect... It makes sense, but it's a little too much. That's kind of my thinking about it. Like, it needs to be mixed more with, like, dust and debris. You know, I think it's maybe too big. Maybe even, like, tone down the radius of it or something like that. You know? But I like the fact that the rocks get really hot while it's drilling. I think that, and then they cool very fast. Which, I guess they probably shouldn't. I don't know how... Do things actually cool quickly in space? There's no medium for the heat to go other than back into the rock. I don't know, whatever. I'm not a scientist. Why can't I drill this? Drill it. Okay. Wait a minute. Am I full? How do I see my own inventory? Can I see the inventory? Inventory is not a thing yet, apparently. Well, yeah, inventory is not a thing. I can't see the inventory. I could see the blueprints, which we're going to fool around with in a little bit, but I mean, I would have assumed, because there's no survival mode yet, that there wouldn't actually be ore being generated. Okay, well, there we go. Now we're doing it. Maybe it was like the angle or something. Yeah, I assume there's no actual ore being mined because, well, for one, we don't have cargo, we don't have conveyor networks yet in this game. Like, you'll notice everything is, all cargo stuff is connected directly to other things, or they're not connected to each other at all. Because there's no cargo conveyor lines in this game at all. Yet. Oh, there, let's do this. There we go. Yeah, this is going to be good. I mean, one of the big problems that I have is, like, you know, when you're mining and you just, like, rotate a little bit and you're like, oops, you know, and then, like, the whole side of your ship is gone, you know, and now you can almost be reckless with it. I'm assuming damage is turned on right now, so, like, how fast would I even have to rotate to smack a piece off of here, right? Ready? Let's get in a position here. Yeah, I can't even... Oh, I missed. This is why I don't play baseball. Okay, hang on. Let's get real close here. Real close. Real close, like right there. Line me up. Ready? Here we go. Okay. Well, I couldn't see it, but that definitely, that definitely broke something. Okay, so I'd have to be going pretty fast to break the mining ship. The fire effects look better, I think. Fire does actually burn in space. It's just not burning oxygen. It depends on what's inside of this thing that's burning. Anyway, I think it looks good. I'm willing to suspend my disbelief for burning fire effects in space. All right, so let's see. We're gonna need a new ship to fly over to the blue ship because we're gonna smash into that platform right there. You ready? Yeah, let's really get a good speed going here. Oh, we'll have to test the top speed of the world too. All right. First major crash of space engineer. Oh my God, what have am I drunk? First major crash of Space Engineers 2. Proceed. Now, if the game crashes here, we're accelerating pretty slowly. That was anticlimactic, but there is a cool looking broken piece floating around there. Yeah, let's hop out here. Let's go see this broken piece. It's probably going to despawn on me. Yeah, it despawned. Let's see. Here's our broken drill. There's a big dent in the... So that's still there. Parts of the drill are gone, which is cool. That actually looks pretty good. I mean, I don't know why a drill would be full of randomly arranged rebar, but, I mean, like I said, I'm not a scientist. I don't know. But hey, you know, whatever. So, that's off. Why don't we just, give you a push, get you out of here, off you go. Okay. So, that'll go away eventually. Yeah, I guess you're still flyable, huh? Well, you know what that means. We're gonna have to use... Oh, wait, this is the paint gun. This is how we paint things now. I like it. I like that, it shows you... I mean, obviously... So I think one of the more disappointing things is you still can't paint individual surfaces of armor blocks. Like, I wouldn't really expect you to be able to paint individual surfaces of every block, but it's still kind of disappointing that you have to paint the entire armor block. But whatever. That's a minor thing. But yeah, I do like that there's this nice reticle that basically shows you exactly which block you're going to be painting. I think we're going to be running into issues from time to time of, like, forgetting how big a... Is that damage? There's some damage on the paint. That's kind of cool. Or maybe that's just part of the... I don't know. I don't have a way to repair anything right at the moment. But anyway, like, not remembering what's a large block, what's a small block, like what's a big block versus what is a large collection of small blocks, right? So I think I might have to test that a little bit and see if we can tell the difference. But you'll notice there's no armor edges. You know, in SE1, how there were armor edges between the paint and between different block types? What they do is, instead of that, they actually add like a divot. You know, it's like a little ditch. See how I repaint that and now suddenly there's like an indentation around the edges? It's smooth. I like that. I also like all the edges are rounded too. That adds a good amount of realism to the blocks when they're not perfectly sharp on the edges. You know, so I like this. I like this painting system. I don't know how to change. Okay, so I can pick color with right mouse button. Okay. Oh, I see. So if I pick that color, then the circle shows me the color. Okay, so now it's blue. Now I can go back to red. Do I have to hold it? I'm kind of got... Nah. Sometimes it doesn't take. Sometimes it takes 2 clicks. Middle mouse button is... Oh! Replace the entire color. Oh, I like that a lot. I like that a lot, but you know what? Undo. Oh. I guess undo doesn't count for painting. I probably just put a block, probably a giant block back inside the base there. That's probably not good. Anyway, I like that feature. I hope they can add undo to painting. Or add painting to undo. I don't know. Paint block. Okay, left mouse button hold is paint all. Oh, there's a countdown going, and... I don't get it. Oh, there it goes. Oh, I see. Maybe because it was already gray. Well, there we go. Now it looks like a dead Optimus Prime. Yep. There we go. What if we go in and hit power? We can't. What if we go in here and say... We can't. What if I go in here and just turn off all the ion thrusters? Oh, I can't. There we go. For some reason it wasn't letting me... Oh. That's weird. I can't do them... I can't get the ones that are not on the screen together. That's weird. Okay, so that's a thing. But anyway, other than that, this is cool. I like this. I like this paint gun. I think there's some room for improvement with it for sure, but I like where they're going with this. I think this is a much more natural way to paint things. And the fact that it hopefully is like infinite ammo, so to speak. You know how like the paint gun mod required you to make paint if you were using it in survival? Even though paint was super cheap, you still had to have paint. I hope this is just... Because it's a... Painting should just... It's cosmetic. It should just be free. You know? I don't want to have to do, like, Minecraft and go and, you know, find flowers of specific dyes and make dyes and stuff. And what did I just do? What did I... I'd hit a button. What did I do? Single... Select... Oh! How did I... What button... Wait, what button did I push? R. I pushed R. Quick menu. It's right there on the screen. So I could select a color. And then I could also select skins, which we don't have yet. And then I could do single. Oh, I could change the size. Oh, that's nice. Okay, hang on. Nope. Boop. Oh, look at that. That's nice. I hope the welder has similar functionality where, like, I could change the size of the thing that I want to weld. You know, the area. I really hope they do that kind of thing, too. Oh, I wanted to try the right-click drill, and I forgot. So we can do... Hold on. R, size... Single block... 5 meter... Oh, 5 meter. Oop. Alright. So it's basically like... Once the majority of the block is in, then it starts to... Oh no, even just barely touching the block. Okay. Cool. Cool beans. Alright. I'm not going to really mess around with the voxel hands too much. I don't really care about voxel hands, to be honest. I'm sure other people do, but it's just making voxels. I do like that the voxel hands cast their own light and shadow, though. That's a nice touch. Toggle projected brush to voxel. What does that mean? Oh. Yeah, it'll snap to the voxel surface. That makes sense. Quick menu again. Change what it is. Cool, cool. Change the shape. Cool. Change voxel material. Oh, I am changing the voxel material. Or reset voxel material. Cool. Yeah, Ethan, you're right. It does. It's giving me vibes of like early Space Engineers, but like with, you know, Space Engineers 1, but with better graphics. Like the UI feels like a step back too. That's kind of what's giving me the vibes of it. But yeah, the graphics look really good, and I'm sure they're just going to improve upon it. I think there's room for improvement in the optimization department for sure. All right, what else we got here? So we got our grav gen. Now everything's going to be blue. Grav gen. Wait, hold on. If I go back to U and go back to R and change the size back to single, but I want to say select. No, I want to go pick this color. There we go. Now I can. Okay. All right. Now everything won't be gray. So there's a grav gen. It's probably, yeah, twice as gravy now. We got our drill. We got our. Actually, I wanted to see. Does the drill have? Oop, there we go. Plop down a new grid. For some reason, I couldn't. Maybe because of the drill head sticking out. Yeah, that makes sense. I couldn't attach this directly to the side of the surface here. This thing. Oh, it's on fire. I was gonna say this thing's making noise like it's on fire, but it is. Anyway, this has the small connection, which I think is 5 centimeter. So, or at least passes through 5 centimeter. Warning. Get rid of you. And we got our desk, which we already saw. We've got lights. We can now put lights all over the place. Just lights for days. Let's... There we go. This, yeah, the grid system, Ethan, is super cool. It is. So, like, this is a 2.5... No, this is a 5 centimeter. I guess when it says light 5 centimeters, does that mean it's 5 centimeters long, or that it's using the 5 centimeter grid? I mean, everything's using the 2.5 centimeter grid, but you know how some things are kind of... Yeah, I guess that doesn't make sense even. It's 5 centimeters long. It's 0.5 meters long. It's corner light 0.5 meter. That makes sense. Okay, so we can put down lots and lots of lights, and then we could get... Oh. And get rid of lots of things, apparently. Can I go like this? Get rid of that. You know, we're just going to leave those there. Alright, so we got lights. We got the antenna, which is so nice and small. Is there a bigger antenna? Oh, yeah, there is. A much bigger antenna. Ooh. I wonder if there's a... I doubt that there's anything at the moment. Oh, good. Signal. Made in space. Yeah, very good. I doubt that there's any... Like, I'm pretty sure the antennas are completely non-functional at the moment, because there's one up there and everything. And there's no... I don't have the ability... There's nothing that can show antenna signals on the HUD. But I'm wondering if, like... this antenna versus this tiny antenna will have different range limits. Because you know how, like, the current antennas in the game, you can, however much power you give into them, their range will go up. And it doesn't matter how big the antenna is. I'm pretty sure, actually I might be misremembering that. Small grid and large grid antennas have the same max range, right? It just depends on how much power that you want to dedicate to the antenna. So I do wonder if this will be like these large ones will have a higher ceiling, right? And these smaller ones would have a lower ceiling of range. Because otherwise, why not just, unless you're doing something aesthetic, why not just always use tiny antennas, right? That's going to be kind of the balance of these things. So they're going to have to really make the larger ones worthwhile, which shouldn't be too hard to do. Let's see. Then we got our reactor, which has that nice spinning effect going on in it. We can see all sides of it. Oh, there we go. We can kind of see even better inside there. I want to know if the reactor is... I shouldn't have turned all these ion thrusters off. Oh, it's nice that there's the red on the side. I didn't even notice that. The red shows you which ones are on and which ones are off. So now they're all on because there's green on the side. Alright, I wanted to know, does the reactor still make a bunch of green smoke when it's damaged? I'm going to hit this antenna, aren't I? We got to get going just fast enough to be able to get past the damage barrier, and I'm not going to make it. Oh, maybe I am? No, I'm not. Yeah, I feel like the damage barrier is too fast. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be going we're still not there yet. Now we're there. Okay. Alright. Did we break it? And thing's resilient, that's for sure. Well, anyway. Where's my damage-making gun? Don't I have a damage gun in here somewhere? Alright, let's keep looking at stuff. We'll come back to damage. So we've got our big cargo container and the little... Here's our different sizes. So we got tiny, medium, and large. Alright. There's a large one. One thing, speaking of the grid system, I was talking about this earlier, but like, these blocks that are down here, as you can see from the highlighting, they are the largest size of block on the surface of the platform. And so this is actually, you know, like this one too. They lock to the closest grid size to them, but you can hold control, and now you have precision, and you could see exactly where they touch. Now I could put this wherever I want right there. So I got a giant cargo container that doesn't do anything because I can't get into it. Because cargo has not been implemented yet. Alright, then we got our assembler. And then we got our refinery there. Which look very cool. I looked at them over on the other side there. Everything is new models, even if they do somewhat resemble, like this resembles the, what was the, I don't even remember, heavy industry? Or whatever the DLC was that gave us the second refinery. Like, it resembles that, but, it's all new models. Everything is new models. Same with the refinery. Like, it resembles that same height, but it's all new models. And as I was saying before, you can clearly see that we have like power and speed upgrade slots on it. So I'm assuming that the upgrades are going to be smaller rather than taking up like the entire back of it, which doesn't have any slots on it at all. I'm hoping that these are just modules that we just like slot into it. You know, that'd be pretty cool. So I got that. Now, we also have our big blocks, which we can, you know, also get small blocks, big blocks, small blocks. There's not a lot of different block shapes in the game as far as I know. If I hit G, we can see that we do have a lot of blocks that just aren't in the block group. It would seem this block group only has 4 different shapes in it. So it cycles through the 4 large and then the 4 smaller versions of them. So I'd have to come up with a new toolbar to work with all these things. But let's actually just go through here maybe. So we've got all the armor. In terms of automation, we have a button and a button panel, neither of which works at the moment. What is this telling us? Is this telling us, I assume, the grid sizes that are available? So 0.5 meter, 2.5 meter, and then maybe there's other I don't know, are even bigger blocks? I don't know. Character gear. The debug gun tool. We're going to need that in a minute. Alright, so communication, we got our antenna, we got a cockpit, and a control seat. I'll have to put a control seat on. Creative tools, we got voxel tools, decor, we got... Oh. Detailing cube. Diatilling armor shape used to create fine details. Unsuitable for protection. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, I've already got that in there. We're going to look at that later. Reactor and solar panel. The door, which does not open yet. Interior light. Oh, we haven't looked at that yet. And the spotlight. Oh yeah, the interior light was what I saw in the toolbar, but then it placed down the corner light. So I'll have to look at that. Logistics, we got the cargo container. Movement, we've got our grav gen. The gyroscopes, landing gear, and ion thrusters. I think the landing gear lock. I don't actually know if they do yet. Production-wise, assemblers and refineries, which don't do anything because they're basically survival blocks. Our med room, which I like the design of, even though it's bigger. I like that it's symmetrical. All these wonderful structural blocks. It's the basics, you know. We got windows, we got railings, we got catwalks, we got beams and walls. I like these interior walls, though. That it's kind of like, you could just make this out of armor blocks, but, you know, here's a nice little thing. And it only takes up the space that it takes up. Like, we could put new stuff in between there, you know? So, that's nice. I like that. We've got window slopes. We got... That's pretty much it. In terms of tools, we got our ship miner. And then we got our Gatling cannon, which can't shoot anything just yet. So. Debug tool. You guys ready for the debug tool? You know what we're debugging? I'm told there are bugs in here, and we're going to let them out. Ready? I like my sound effects better. So when we break stuff, I guess I broke it completely off. Oh, it's gone. Oh, it's all gone. Okay. I wanted to look inside of it. Oh, that was cool. Okay, so everything has like a custom brake model, because that broke around that. Oh, that's cool. I mean, that's going to make modded blocks a little bit more in-depth to fix. Or, I'm not to fix. To, build, because I assume they're going to have to put in these destruction states, but I do think this is very funny that basically everything in the game is just a bunch of like metal straps and rebar and wires and metal beams. Very well rendered texture with the parallax and everything, but it is with the depth, but it is a little unrealistic. The amount of smoke coming out of this cargo container also makes me wonder what we were storing in here, but it's actually kind of cool. Can we like just get to the inner core of the cargo container? Ooh. Oh. Oh, now it's broke. Okay, so that's pretty cool though, how it's all messed up. Goodbye. That little message in the top corner there, that was like, you got you some PCU back to you. I think I'm going to end up turning that off. This is very cool. Space battles are going to be a lot more epic. Way more epic. I broke the ground. There we go. That's what I was trying to test before. I was wondering if this still spewed green smoke. And it does, and it's a lot of it. And there's some electricity going on. Why don't you get out of the way here? Yeah, I'm just... Oh, I love it. This is just... such a space engineer's thing to do. To create such a very cool effect. And then be like... Hey, what's on the other side of this glass wall? Oh, it's a bunch of rebar steel beams and stuff. The cracks in the glass look amazing, though. Like I was saying earlier, that the glass is the best part of the rendering so far because it's nice and curved and reflective. Like this looks really good. This is really good. I have to be enamored by the graphics because there's not much else to the game at the moment. That's cool. Even the broken parts are... Oh, I was going to say they're interactable, but I can't tell. Did that... Ooh. Oh, boy. Yeah, can I interact with this? I think I can. No, I can't. It would be very cool. Oh, now there's just like a particle emitter in there with nothing else. I was gonna say it'd be very cool if you could like bust into, you know, like get the uranium out of it or something like that, right? Like you had to like bust it out without destroying it and break certain pieces off. Like that would be really cool. Seems these small armor blocks don't deform like the big ones. It's actually kind of hard to tell. Do they? Yeah, maybe the small ones don't deform. Well, that's not coming back. The big ones do, though. But only if you... Oh, yeah, there it goes. What's... Oh, yeah, that's... Oh, jeez! We pushed it upwards. Okay, I need to test this. Can I push it back down now? Now it's gone. So destroying an armor block gave me 1 PCU. I guess that makes sense. Alright, so do these... Well, they just do that. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how the repair goes. You know? That's one of those wall blocks. I'm interested to see how repair works. Like, what will it look like to put this broken piece back on, you know? Seems like each of these break in the exact same way, so they definitely have predefined damage models. No, that one broke differently. Is that a different block? Maybe it depends on what side you hit it from. Alright, we're gonna go fly out to the blue ship and see what's going on over there. Gotta get my sound effects going. Now, do I have dampeners? Okay, I do. It's a... The dampener is on the speedometer. See that little warning sign that goes up and down? Ethan, thank you so much for subscribing. Much appreciated. Welcome to the channel. So I don't want to... Oh, there we go. My mouse is being weird. I don't think I could dock with this ship, can I? My gyros are a little sluggish. I think the odds are that we could dock in here. Pretty good. Okay. Now, I'm assuming... Actually... Is the landing gear... Oh, auto lock on. Auto lock on. Okay, then. There we go. The landing gear works. Cool. Let me turn off the dampeners. Let's take a quick tour of the blue ship. because it's much smaller than the red ship, and the red ship I can get lost in. So we got our... I always loved the design of the blue ship, where you can like get up and walk across the walkway here. I did once design a ship that was like this, where you would pass through the kind of shuttle bay on your way to the bridge. Very cool. Cool design. It's classic. Button panel. Some almost real-time reflections. But like, you look at this, there is ambient light reflecting around this room, which is not something you get really well in Space Engineers 1. You know, there is light coming in from the sun. Presumably, that's the sun. Yeah, there's the sun. There's light coming in from the sun, hitting this wall and reflecting back and lighting up the rest of this hallway, which is... That's it's a modern feature of rendering. So, that's all. Just wanted to point it out. A lot of games have it. And now this one does too. Chairs look comfier. Actually, do they? Now that I think about it, maybe they don't. Yeah. Ethan, you were right when you said a few minutes ago that this is going to change how we build in Space Engineers. Everything is going to... We have to rethink the possible... There's one of those interior lights. Looks cool. Got a little bit of glass on it. Right, get on there. Still just one little, like, centralized lens flare, but whatever. It's cool looking. It's got a... Even got some detailed... like brand name on it. And I'm stuck. Okay. Yeah. Man, yeah, this really is. And I imagine that a lot of my streams, when we start getting into Space Engineers 2, are going to be a lot of like people going, don't forget, you can use tiny blocks and stuff like that. So, I should, let me stand here. This is a really nicely rendered room with the reflection here. What are my plans for Space Engineers 2? I've talked about this a little bit in the past. And my plans are I'm going to ease into it as more vertical slices come out. Like, I'm not a creative mode player. And so playing in creative mode, I don't know. I will probably get more enjoyment out of Space Engineers 1 until a few more vertical slices come out. Yeah, so and the same with anybody who hasn't bought the game yet, who's considering it. Really consider whether you enjoy finding bugs, having limited gameplay, or if you should. I mean, honestly, I think the vast majority of people should wait a couple more vertical slices, if not until like beta or full release or whatever, because it's going to be a rough road. Just like, Space Engineers 1 was really, really buggy for a long time, and it was only in the most recent years that it's gotten a lot more stable, and it's still got its issues. God, there's just so much cool detail all over the place. This game is awesome. I love it. I'm very much looking forward to this game being as good as the last one. But yeah, I'm probably not going to play much during Vertical Slice 1. When the mods start coming out, I think then there's some value in revisiting it periodically and seeing what mods are out there and testing them out and just doing crazy nonsense. When Survival hits, I will definitely be playing Space Engineers 2. I will probably start a ongoing series. It might not be weekly, but I'll probably start an ongoing series when Survival comes out, just so that I can get a sense of it and probably provide feedback to Keen. So it might be like a monthly or a bi-weekly. I don't know. We'll figure it out when we get there. But that's the kind of thing that I really would like to actually put through its paces and be able to provide good feedback and write bug reports and stuff like that. Creative mode, I'll let the creative mode players write all the bug reports for that. And I'm sure there's a lot of them being filed already. But, and I'm not trying to diss people who like creative mode. I mean, that's literally half the game. Right, and it's a creative mode to me is equally as important as survival mode, because you, I mean, like, this game is about designing ships, right? Sometimes you really just want to, like, even as a survival mode player, sometimes I will go into creative mode to just workshop something real quick and then blueprint it and build it in survival, you know? So, I'm just, when I say I'm not a creative mode player, I'm not one of those people who plays only in creative and like their goal is to design the biggest ship or the coolest ship or to recreate a ship from a TV series or a movie or whatever. I think that's very cool and I love looking at those blueprints, but that's not what I get out of the game. So I want to do some tests about how these blocks, like how they merge their textures, you know, the armor blocks, because they look like this is obviously 3 blocks in a row here in a diagonal. You know, they look at, oh, the lighting in this room. Lighting in each hallway segment is different and it just looks so epic, like cinematic. You know, like it's the reason I'm, oh, this is a bunch of beams, or it's either a bunch of beams or a bunch of wall pieces side by side, and we're looking at the short edges. So many possibilities here. Yeah, I bet those are wall pieces. 'Cause that's a wall piece. And just the fact that we can do walls, like thin walls like this, and not have to have giant cubes for walls is, that in and of itself, like I haven't really thought about it too much, but like this is the wall, right? Like the wall is actually thinner than the door in this case. Which is just that's a game changer right there. The fact that we could do, yes, this is a bunch of beams. The fact that we can do, you know, walls like this and things that actually look like beds. Oh man. Okay, so if I go light armor and switch it to, let's see, do we not have the smallest? Oh, so what I wanted to do was go like this and put this on here. And I want a really small one. How do I get the smallest light armor? Oh, so if you're in a group, well, no, because those things are in groups. Where's my, am I blind? Where's, oh, there it is. Light armor slope 0.5 and 0.25. Oh, so we don't even have the smallest. I was going to try and do like a, like something there to make this kind of flush into that more, but apparently we don't have that. Not yet, at least. We'll get there. So we got, let's see, going back through here. There's our grab gen. There's our gyroscopes. We haven't really looked at those yet. Pitch, roll. That's kind of cool. I mean, these things probably shouldn't be moving if the ship isn't moving, but pretty cool. The pipe detailing, like all the fact that all this stuff is just armor block basically, and none of this is dedicated like piping detail and stuff. Blowing my mind, basically. Blowing my mind. Like all this. Look at this. Look at this. I don't even know what those things are. I got pipes running, fake pipes. They're not even conveyors. Is it there? Hold on. Wait, I want to... Because I've got the... Is that it? Let's see, there's a big one. Hang on. There's the 0.5 one. Okay, create blueprint, auto rotate, symmetry, partial copy. I don't, and I don't see it in here. That's like a slope or something, right? Or a half? What's that block called? You don't have it in heavy armor. Oh, I want to look at the heavy armor textures too. That is, I know it's in here, this thing. Slope. So, slope. Detailing slope. Ah, so it's not an armor. Okay. There we go. Look at that. So this is not actually an armor block. It's a detailing slope. Okay. Cool. Thanks for pointing that out. Who pointed that? Thank you, Jeremiah, for pointing that out. All right, now I'm going to pick this color and then spray that, and it looks a little rusty. But that's okay, because now that looks really nice. I like that. That's awesome. Yeah. Okay, I like the detail blocks. It kind of makes sense that detail blocks would be less... Like, they're tiny, right? So they don't really provide armor value. And that's probably going to help with the balancing of, like, you know, what is a steel plate? You know, and realistically, like, how many steel plates does it take to make a giant block versus a tiny one, you know? I'm going to take a quick drink of water here. While I do that, if you're all enjoying this, please consider throwing a like on the video if you haven't already. And do consider subscribing if you want to get notified when I go live. I'll be taking a quick drink here. Hold on. Ah, I'm doing a lot of talking today. That's my job. All right. Let's see. Am I going the wrong way? I'm going the wrong way. I wanted to keep going this way, but I think we got to the end of the ship, didn't we? We were here. Then we went in there, but this way there's different stuff. Yeah, this way is downstairs. Mid-bay. Cool glass roof, glass ceiling. We got reactors, we got all sorts of stuff. Man, I honestly cannot wait. I may jump in and do some creative mode building just to get used to the patterns and stuff. There's some good stuff here. So what else can we do with the detailing block? We can, oh, that's one of the things I wanted to see, is if we were like, if we have a block like this, the detailing block, and then we're like, okay, so that is just basically an extension of the normal block texture. And you could see what I meant when I was saying before that, like, you know, this looks like there's a parallax effect, like it's indented, but in reality, if you look at it from the side, it's perfectly flat. You know, it's just a visual effect. But it's very good visual effect. It's not like the tessellation that's on the boop, 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 asteroids. What else can we make? What other shapes we got? So we have this one. We have this one. Then we got some big... Oh, that's just the light armor cube. What happened here? Oh, right, because I always forget that scrolling doesn't do the right thing. Does the wrong thing. Okay, so we got that. We got regular cube. Okay, so we just got the 4 detailing shapes. We go back into here. Wasn't there like a... Here we go. Detailing. Yeah, just the 4 detailing shapes. Okay. It'll be interesting when they start adding, like, component values to these things and stuff. How do I get out of here? That's glass. I could probably not walk so slow. Went the wrong way. I could just blast my way out of here, but I don't want to. Get in my ship. Get in my ship. And we don't have a toolbar yet. So let's find the landing gear. Is that how I disconnect for now? No, I can't disconnect. Okay. So let's power you on and maybe auto lock off. No. Well. There we go. Excuse me. We got one more. Or actually, did that do it all? There we go. That's fine. We'll buff out. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, oh, jeez. There we go. Dampeners were on or off. How much debris did we leave back over there? Oh, the saving is the worst. The saving feels like City Skylines 1 saving. Where like after a while everything just kind of grinds to a halt. That was fun. Let's go back to the platform up here. Oh, there we go. Then now the jetpack kicked on. All right. Thing seems remarkably intact. Did we not? I was trying to bail on it there. What happened? Okay, hold on now. There's my... Hold on, wait. There's my flaming drill or something over there. Okay, we're gonna go right into the cockpit there, or the whatever. Okay, dampeners off. Getting out. Ah, why does my... Oh. There we go. Okay, I'm hitting the wrong buttons. Maybe I need to start this a lot earlier, but I have noticed that the ship does not seem to be damaging the station very much. Also, where is the ship? Well, that's a potential problem. That's another asteroid, I assume. I guess we could go look at other asteroids at some point. Well, we lost the ship. Maybe this is all that's left of it. I don't know. There it is. I got a whole PCU back for that. Alright, so you know what we need to do is smash the red ship into the blue ship. Obviously, we have to do that. So, let's do that. Get that out of the way. And then I might try to start building anything. I don't know. We'll just have a little fun for a few minutes and then... That's window, right? Yeah. Presumably this way. I get so lost in the red ship. I don't really like the... this was like a common color scheme in a lot of older Space Engineers models, I thought, where it was like really dark on the inside, and I never liked that. Black and red. That's very cool looking up there, though. Like, who would want to live on a ship like this? Right? It's like painting your bedroom black. You know? Although, I will say, it is definitely cool looking. It is cool, I just wouldn't... I wouldn't want it as my... I'm on the wrong side of the ship, aren't I? I wouldn't want it as my color scheme. So I've always appreciated their ability to, like, put what appears to be like a gray inner structure and then have, like, colorful detailing on the outside. I've always appreciated Keen's design sensibilities that way, and any other designers that do similar things like that. I love that. I think that's the coolest way to show depth, you know? And I also like that the fact that we have these small wall pieces and everything means that we don't necessarily have to. How is that doing that? Is that when they butt up against each other? Do these share? Oh, we're going to test that in a minute here. Do they share? Do they merge textures? I guess they would have to, right? Oh no, that's a wall piece. That's a wall corner piece. Yeah, that's what that is. That's a wall corner piece. Yeah, but that means that the thing I was saying earlier about not being able to paint the individual faces of the armor is a little bit moot now, since we could just stick panels on it, you know? And I do wonder, though, if we're ever going to get... If we're going to go back to certain things, like, you know how the catwalks in the original game were super thin? And the same with, like, the new armor panels. No, they're not new now, they're a couple years old. But the armor panels, you know, everything was nice and super thin and flat. And, like, the new catwalks are 2.5 centimeters, or 25, yeah, 2.5 centimeters. 25 centimeter. 2.5 centimeter. There we go. Whatever it is, I don't remember. I'm going to get used to it eventually. But, yeah, the smallest, or is it 5? This is half meter. This is 50 centimeter. 5 centimeter. 10 centimeter. It's half a meter. Here, let me find a catwalk. Put it in the thing. Does it tell me 2.5 meter is how tall it is? But it's got to be 2.5 centimeter thick, right? So, everything, that seems to be the minimum thickness. And what I'm just wondering is if we'll ever have anything thinner than that, that simply takes up a portion of the grid. Or if, like, the new design philosophy is this is the thinnest kind of panel we can ever get. Which I would be okay with. I'd be okay with that. Let's see. So yeah, I am on the wrong side of the red ship here. That's cool though. I bet we're gonna walk up there in a minute. Let's see if we could find... Nope. That's the room that overlooks... Maybe we have to go up that way. Oh, how do we get up that way? Now I'm like going back out, aren't I? Mm-hmm. Oh, sorry, I just realized I can see my body. And that I'm walking like a doofus. And also that I don't seem to cast a shadow. But I don't look like that when I'm walking in third person. I'm sure they'll fix that. Corey, it is graphically better than the first, but it is definitely as a game not better than the first yet, because this is just the first there we go, now I know where I'm going. This is just the first release of it in, as you can see from the upper left corner, this is the alpha release. So things like these buttons don't work. They literally don't work. They don't do anything. You can fly the ships, but that's pretty much it. The new grid system is very cool. This is the tiniest. It's all unified grid, so this is the tiniest little grid piece. We have animated all sorts of things, and we have thin walls and stuff that we can have now. But yeah, there's only creative mode. Creative mode is only half baked at the moment. The rest of the game will be coming over the next 2 to 3 years. Is my guess. The vertical slices, as they call them, that they have detailed so far are, oh yeah, definitely. I would say unless you really want a beta test, this isn't even a beta yet, but unless you really like beta testing or just want to poke around with it, you know, like there's fun to be had here, but this is definitely not a full game yet. Yeah. So the vertical slices are basically like the major features that they're going to be adding over the next couple year or so. The next year or so, the major features. And then there will be additional development after that. And I think that's something that people are not kind of taking into account when they think of the roadmap. Like, they're going to be putting in, like, creative mode was the first vertical slice. The next vertical slice, I believe, is mod support. And then I don't remember the order, but like the other vertical slices are like planets, water, actual liquid water, which looks insane. We'll see how the performance of that is. What are the other ones? Multiplayer, survival, right? All those things need to get in here, but those are going to be like major feature drops. And then there's going to be tons of smaller updates refining those things. So it's not just going to be like, boom, here's multiplayer, boom, here's survival, boom, here's planets, and now we're out the door, we're fully released. Like, I imagine once they get through all of the vertical slices, they'll move into beta. Like, that's where I think we're going to land. And then we'll be in beta for a while. Like Merrick said way up at the beginning, Merrick said, like, he thinks it'll be about 3 years before it's fully released. So I imagine they're going to be dropping these big chunks of feature, these vertical slices over the next year and a half or so. And then we will be basically refining from there. So, yeah, I mean, we'll see. I actually don't know if Workshop will be a quick one. I know a lot of people were like, it's already there, they could just reuse it. Like, I really do think, because this is a new engine, and a lot of this is brand new from scratch. Like, I think they just have to re-implement Workshop from scratch, but it's probably equally amount of work as implementing mod.io, so I'm not really worried about it. But they'll get it. Like, it's not like Workshop mod integration support in general is not a huge lift, so I imagine no matter what, that vertical slice is going to go pretty fast. But yeah, I think the first year, because a lot of these things have already been working on, right? Like planets exist, we've seen them in a lot of the demos. Water exists. It was one of the first things they started working on with this engine, was the water. This first year is they're going to probably drop a lot of the foundational stuff for everything. I know the roadmap is out there and it says exactly when they plan to release all that stuff, but you know, roadmaps change. The first casualty of battle is always the battle plan. So, you know, we'll get our vertical slices, and then there'll be a whole bunch of other additional updates coming after that as we refine it and make it an actual game. So if you're looking to get it, I would say if you really want to have like a true game experience, you probably want to get it toward the end of this year. If you really want to wait for it to be nice and polished, we're probably looking at 2027, you know. Yeah, I know. This game, I should quit the game and load it back up again. This game loads super fast. Partially because there's not much here yet. Yeah, there's not a whole lot of blocks. The list of blocks that we have is not, you know, there's like just a handful of ones, and most of them do nothing. The landing gear, we've learned, does work, but it doesn't unwork. Like, you can lock, but you can't unlock. So, that's the thing. Thrusters work. Gyroscopes work. GravGen works. Lights work. Doors don't. Cockpits allow you to fly, but nothing else about them works. There's no toolbars or anything. Medroom doesn't work. That doesn't need to. You don't. Medroom doesn't work because it's a survival block, so there's nothing you could do. Oh yeah, Corey, your PC is basically like almost as old as Space Engineers 1. No, it's not even true, actually. Space Engineers 1's pretty old. The drill sort of works. The drill will destroy voxels, but it doesn't produce anything. We don't have, here's another thing. There's no inventory system yet. At all. There's no inventory system. Not in my person, not on the grids. Pretty much everything that they've built, and this is kind of interesting for building a red ship, there's no conveyor blocks in the game at all yet. So like all of the stuff that looks like it's piped together, they're fake pipes. There's just fake pipes, detailing pipes all over the place. And you can't access, like, the cargo blocks are here, the cargo containers are here, but you can't access their internals because we have nothing to put in them at the moment. You know, so like the drill doesn't generate ore, the assemblers don't generate components, you know, the refineries don't refine anything. That'll come in a later vertical slice. I'm assuming that'll be part of survival. You know, components and ores and all that stuff will just be part of survival, because in the meantime we can just plop down, you know, whatever we want, however we want it. you know. But I will say, like, the potential here is incredible. I'm going to do a thing real quick. I know I said I was going to smash this ship into the other one, but one of the things that they showed off I haven't tried to do yet. Look at this really cool light structure up here. It looks like a Cylon eye, right? What if I want to put that on something else, right? What if I want to use this design element on something else? I can copy and paste that somehow. How? There we go. So if I hit Control C, I'm now in copy mode. Now this is going to be interesting because I don't know what I'm doing here. All right, so no. Oh, I copied the entire ship. That's not what I meant to do. Cancel. Now what I wanted to do was figure out, I almost did this once before. How did I start the copying? Oh yeah, I don't, I'm not I was saying earlier, I'm not a creative mode player. So I will not be playing Space Engineers 1 very much until they start, or I'm sorry, 2, until they start adding more of the stuff in. Now, how do I start the copying and the pasting? Do I need to start from here? That gave me the entire ship again. I don't want that. Let's see. The settings tell me... No, probably not. Oh, didn't I turn VSync off? Oh, well, whatever. I'll leave it on. Help. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. All right. Character. No. Systems. Control B for blueprint. That makes sense. Switch to alternate toolbar. Yeah. Use item. Okay, toolbar select. What about advanced controls? Okay. Oh, that's nice. Shift R. I didn't know that to go back. Free placement. Oh, they call it free placement here. They call it new grid in the on-screen controls. That's basically like instead of having a block snap to a grid, it will place the block on top of the grid, like in the spot, but it will be a separate grid just kind of sitting there. Symmetry, alignment, that's good. Auto rotation, toggle auto rotation. I'm assuming that that's like the T button in Space Engineers 1. The interesting thing about that is that I couldn't tell whether it was toggled on or off. There's no indicator. Or maybe I just missed it. Block distance. Here we go. Copy grid. OEM period OEM comma. Okay. Alright, so I don't want to copy the whole grid, though. I want to copy a piece of the grid. Undo, redo, which is nice. It has its limits, though. We found out that undo and redo don't take painting. You can't undo painting, which is kind of annoying. Okay, I'm gonna try. So what is snapping size? I can't remap any of these things, but oh, okay. Oh. Alright, well that does basically what size grid, what size block do you want to snap to? That makes sense. Let me go over here. So these are large blocks. So if I'm cycling through, so now I'm snapping to the large blocks of the same size. Now I push this and I'm snapping to the 25 centimeters, or 2.5 centimeters. And then now here's the 50 centimeter snapping to that grid. That's kind of cool. And then no matter what, if you hold control, you get the precision, the precision grid. So I could, oop. Yeah. Okay, but seriously, I want to know how to copy something. I feel like... Let's see, is it the... Oh, create. Here we go. Maybe this is it. What if I go like this and go create blueprint? Oh, it's the entire ship. Yeah, it's the entire ship. I don't want to do that. All right. Partial copy. Here we go. There it is. Partial copy. Okay. So, I do that. Change. Whoa, change size. Precision controls. Okay. There we go. So I'm holding which side I want. And then pushing the selection out. Okay. The first game I play, I did play a bit on the Keen's live server last year. At the moment, I'm doing a weekly Space Engineers one, but it is all live. All the videos are, all the VODs are, if you click on live on my YouTube channel, you'll see all the VODs and you could just watch them. But yeah, I don't do a lot of pre-recorded stuff. It's mostly all live. So let's see, hold on. So I want to go down. Now I'm going to hold Control, push W for the bottom face, and then scroll with the scroll wheel until it gets to there. And now I believe I am looking at the whole thing that I want. See, this is not bad once you get the hang of it. Like, this is... it's got to be a cube, not a cube. It's got to be rectangular, which could end up being a problem, but whatever. So I'm going to confirm the selection, and now I have... Oh, you see, that's what I mean. Now I've got this. I took some extra pieces with me. Because they overlap slightly. So. But, now I've got this piece. I could go and plop it somewhere else if I wanted. Let me put it here, and then delete that, and delete that, and then let me do a normal blueprint of this. And we're going to call this red ship. No, we're going to call this a... Oh, yeah, I got my caps lock on. A Cylon Eye. Okay. All right. So I got our Cylon Eye. Now if I push G to bring up the normal thing here, I can go to Build, Blueprints, Cylon Eye, drag that down into the thing, and now... Here, we could just cut that, make it gone. And now I could go pull this up, press 2, pull this up, and put it wherever I want. Maybe I want my base to have a big Cylon Eye on it. And we'll go like this. Now maybe I want it. Maybe I want to replace the... Now we're going to put it right here. Let me get the precision. See, I want to go down a little bit. The problem with this is that you can't... You have to hold Control to go into precision placement mode, because otherwise it snaps to various different grid sizes. But then you can't move yourself while you're in precision mode, because the movement buttons will move this. So anyway, boom, right there. That's where it is. Now I thought I got the light with it, but I guess I didn't. I guess I wouldn't have, because the light was like on the back wall. And we didn't take the back wall, but there we go. Anyway, so that's how the blueprint system works. So to recap, what the hell did I just do? To recap, I had a block out, and then you go to, you hold Control to go into precision mode, and then push P to bring up copy, partial copy. Then you can select a block, and then you can change the size of the faces to match whatever you want to copy, and then you copy it. So I think that there is a bit of a game changer. And oh, Corey, thank you for subscribing. Yeah, I've noticed that several people have subscribed. I don't always get notified when everybody subscribes, because most people actually keep their subscription lists private, and so it doesn't I don't get a notification when people actually subscribe. So thank you everybody who subscribed. during this. I very much appreciate it. I hope you enjoy. Come back for my other Space Engineers 1 fun times and hang out with me. I usually do them on Thursdays. And I'll be back to Space Engineers 2 when it gets updates. I'm not going to do a lot of Space Engineers 2 stuff until it gets more features in it. But can I just break into the front of this ship and then smash it into the blue ship? That's what I really want to do. Where's my... There we go. Thank you. That was the debug gun. Okay. Here we go. Get away from the thing there. Let's... You know the spot we got to aim for right there. I don't know how on target we're going to be with this, but here we go. Turning off the dampeners. Hoping we're going to hit it. What the... Whoa, well... See, now that was a little disappointing, I would say. Is there a whole nother station here, or did we flip around? There's a whole nother station here. Hang on a second. We could go looking at this thing. Boy, the structural integrity of these ships is insane. Thank you. I appreciate that. I have been told that some people listen to my streams to fall asleep at night. Was I going under 20 meters per second? I thought I had gotten up to speed there. We're gonna have to go back and check. Hang on. There's been inconsistent damage, though. We did some crash tests earlier, and it was definitely like... we were definitely over, because that's 20 meters right there. We did some tests. 20 meters per second is what it is supposed to be. And it is definitely doing damage. No damage under 20 meters per second, including rotational damage. So if you're like spinning your ship and it's the piece that's hitting the wall is slower than 20 meters per second, it won't do damage. But we did test that if you spin really fast, you can still smack into a wall and blow up part of your ship. We did smash the drill ship into the base and broke it a little bit. But we also smashed a ship directly into an asteroid, and it didn't do nothing, and the ship kind of deleted itself out of existence. So, all right, I am definitely at speed here. Yeah, what? There's my ship. I mean, we're making the clang noises. So... well, I guess now is the time to go smacking into other people's ships, if you really want to, because we are invincible. But yeah, as you say, this is, I mean, it's not even a beta. This is alpha. So... we will get there. Oh, look, there's a little piece floating up here. What broke off of you? A small thruster. Where were they? Small. Is that the small thruster from the ship that I smashed up when I docked here? Oh, we're upside down too, relatively speaking. Yeah, anyway. Whatever. Oh, you know what? What if we fly... where's the front of this thing? And the top. What if we fly the blue ship into the red ship? Let me just, boop, bop, boop. Thank you. Okay. Where's the red ship at? Oh, there's some clanging going on. Definitely some clanging. Okay. What's behind me? Perfect. We're going to hit the red ship, and then we'll hit an asteroid after that and see what happens. Alright, here we go. We're going to go right in the back. 100 and some meters per second. Yeah, excuse me. Maybe we could just push it. We're going 3 meters per second here. All right. Yeah, I think there's a bug. I think there's some bugs. Yeah, well. Where was that other asteroid base at? I'm lost. Right there. Okay. Let's head over to this one and see what the, Come on. There we go. Excuse me. Oh. Did we? No. That's just the light. I thought something exploded, but it was just the fact that we have a red light. That's no good. Oh, wait a minute. This is the base we started at. I remember because I made this nice landing platform. Where's the other base? I guess it would be over that way. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me, everybody. Alright, so it's got to be over at one of these asteroids. Yeah, there it is. Here we go. Coming in hot. Just... Oh, that's comical. Okay. Yeah, good. Alright. Well, this place looks nice. I didn't even know this was here. Let's take a walk around this place and see what we got. We got, is there no gravity here? There it is. Okay. It sounded different. Yeah, right. I think, oh, the speed limit. Yeah, that's actually a good question. This, oh, wow. Hold on. Why is this? What? Oh, because the gravity from the ship is nearby. The speed limit is 300 and something meters per second, I think. I don't know. We'll go for a quick flight on the way out. Cargo container, cargo access. Let's see what's in this base here. I know we're not going to see a variety of blocks because we've definitely seen them all. I really love how good the stairs look. Oh, you know what? One thing I wanted to do actually was I saw somebody make, maybe it was Zoc or maybe it was in one of the videos. I don't remember, but somebody made stairs by just doing this. That way. And I was just wondering if the engineer would actually walk up them. He does. That's actually pretty cool. Alright, well, my head's in the way, but yeah, he does actually walk up them. That's cool. So if you have a little block in the way, so like if I have a block here on the ground, I'll just walk over it. Yep, yep. That's awesome. That was a question I was kind of wondering a long time ago and forgot about, was like, if you get to a small grid, and actually I don't even know how this works in Space Engineers 1, like how high, like I feel like maybe he would walk over one block, like if you had a big small grid thing and had a small grid bump on it, which would be twice as big as this bump, like he would get stuck on it, right? Or would he walk over it? What about one of these? Will you walk over that? Yes. Okay. That's cool. But I bet you're not going to walk over, you're not going to walk over this. No, that's a cover. That's like basically a cover wall at that point. But you can go up down, and up and down. Up, down, up, down. Stuck. I mean, it's weird the things that I'm impressed by, right? Like, this is, yeah. Oh, Corey, my friend, let me explain to you the beauties of the unified grid system. We have here. This here is the size of an original 2.5 meter block, right? Actually, let me go outside and do this. Is there an outside? Honestly, I don't really care about the inside of the station anymore. Let me just blast my way out of here with the debug gun. All right, so this here, out here, these are all like essentially what you would call large grid blocks, right? Like they're the 2.5 meter blocks, but it's all actually 2.5 centimeter. The entire grid is 2.5 centimeters. And so if I wanted to, I could hold control and align this block however I want. So it doesn't have to line up. If I put that block there and this block there, I could then go, I want this block to be a little bit higher. And I want this block to be a little bit higher this way and maybe come this way. And maybe I want to get some smaller blocks like this one and do something like this. Right? And it all becomes a single unified bit of armor here. If I go back a minute here and go like boom, boop. Yep. Look at that. All one nice big happy unified family. And then we have, currently we have, this is the actual smallest size of the grid, is the detailing blocks. So if I wanted to be like, and then I'm going to go and like, whop, boom. This is, as Ethan said earlier up, this is going to change how we think about designing ships. It changes everything about how we're going to design ships. Everything is small grid. Everything is half the size of small grid. These middle size blocks, that's the old small grid. The tiny blocks is the new grid. They're half the size, or I guess in, what would you call, in half the size in each direction, whatever. So, yeah, this is, I think this is the main draw to me. I mean, the graphics, the new graphics are amazing. Right? But like, the unified grid system, if you're a creative mode player, or I mean, it doesn't matter, but like creative mode players are going to spend so much time detailing, right? I mean, look at this. Like these catwalks would normally take up the full block, right? But they don't. They take up only the space they're taking up. So I could do this, right? I could do this. Not that that looks good, but yeah, they take up only the space that they take up. And actually, if you can see it, if you, as an example, do, which one? Which one is it? This one. If I, see how it's a slope, if I, let me find a flat spot here, I could put this, here, over here. You know, when I go to detail mode, it shows me, you know, like the grid spots that it takes up. And if I rotate it, can you see the, let me see. See the green there? It's only going to take up those spots on the grid. So I could place that down, and I could take another one and flip it and put it like, I can't, right there. I could put it like right there. Because it's all on the unified grid. You can't put them completely up against each other because it's still a grid with overlapping space, but you would just put a large block there, so. Try and find a 2x1 large slope block. Jack, okay. 2x1 half, is it the half long slope? Actually, I don't have anything from this entire, I haven't looked at any of these other block groups. Let's do this. Actually, let's throw some heavy armor in here too. I wanted to see the heavy armor skins. Because to me they looked much better than before. Oh yeah, that looks way better. Like the distinction between heavy and light armor is a lot better. Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, so anyway, you were saying, oh, look at that. Oh, so there is a, so that's where they, so the detailing blocks, and then this is the armor version of that. Oh, I was looking for that. Okay. So, this thing you're saying, basically, right? Is this the one? Let's see, then we've got the classics over here for these guys. And then these guys. Oh, man. Can I get this? Oh, you're not entirely up against there, are you? Boom. Yeah, this is going to take some doing. The half block is in the same. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. So normally you would have, let's see. Well, let me find a bit. Let me just erase this here. Yeah, so normally you would do, normally in the current game, you would have this block, and then you would have the half block, whatever, you know, the one that's like the other version of this. But in this game, you would do that, and then you would do that. That's what you're getting at, right? And then you could just go boop, boop, and then gotta make the sound effects. The sound effects are important. Do that. So that's our half slope. We don't need the other blocks. We could just combine the smaller ones we have. Jack, that is, I'm glad you brought that up, because I hadn't even considered that. I just thought like, oh, we don't have all the blocks in there yet. We don't need them anymore. This is fantastic. So, and then we could, you know, do like a, you know, slopey offset. Well, that won't fit there, but yeah. This is the potential here. If Keen doesn't screw this up, the potential here is huge. Like, it really just feels like, I think Merrick said it at some point, but it really just feels like they went like, everything we wished we had done with Space Engineers 1, but either never got around to or couldn't do in the engine. This is how they wanted, it's almost like Space Engineers remastered, right? It's like, this is how it should have always been. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Wow, that, yeah, even or odd symmetry, that's a good point too. Yeah, that's going to make things a lot easier. I think the only hard part of this is that I feel like now our options are going to be ridiculous. I think it's a good choice, though, to stick with, instead of having to do like, let's see, can I go, we got like, it, you know, if I wanted to make a, let's see, instead of doing this like that, like they could have just given us tiny little, you know, blocks, and I would have had to do this, you know, to make it. And that's, so I think it's a good thing that they went, no, we're still going to have gigantic blocks. It saves on PCU, because each one of these is one PCU, whether it's big or small, right? So it saves on that. But it's also like easier. right? Like I don't have to, I was very concerned when they first talked about unified grid that it was going to be like, well, really when you're placing down one of these, it looks like you're placing down that, but it's really like a blueprint that's filled with tons of tiny little half blocks, right? And that's what I was concerned about, you know, like that it was like, it looks like you're doing a large grid block, but really it's all filled with tiny, tiny blocks, which turned out to be not true at all. This is a singular block that, you know, lives and dies on its own. Blow it up. Now it's gone. These blocks do deform. Look like these ones, yeah, just kind of blow up. And then some of these, in case you didn't see the destruction model yet, they're pretty cool, except that everything is filled with bits of rebar. Hold on, let me break something else here. That's all getting jammed in there. Everything is filled with bits of rebar and like scrap metal. No matter what it is. We were looking at the at a broken assembler, and it was like glass on one side and rebar on the other. Oh, but when the if you weren't watching, when we were blowing up the cargo container is yeah, okay, sorry, I was just catching up on chat. The cargo container's destruction model is very cool because you basically like strip off the outer casing of it, and what you're left with is like the inner vault of it, which is really cool. And you could see all the, you know, scrap metal in there and everything. But yeah, like that destruction model is really cool. This part will stay until the very end, until it's fully destroyed, which is I think a really nice touch. And yeah, that's what the inside, in case you're wondering what the inside of every single block in the entire world looks like, it looks like this. So this is, like I said, the potential here. The potential, if they don't screw this up, is insane. So, yeah. This is the debug tool, by the way. It's the debug. It's specifically for testing destruction. It will not be in the final game. It'll get removed at some point, or it'll be just like a creative mode only tool or something like that. But we won't have that forever. Yeah, you know, whatever the beauty of it is that whatever Keen doesn't provide, the modders will. That's kind of like that's the bargain we make with ourselves with games like this, right? Is like Keen can only do so much, and the modders will fill in the rest. Ooh, there's another little ship up here. I might have to spend more time playing around at this base. Oh, this is the ship that I tried to crash into the other base and it disappeared. Maybe it just teleported here. That's not true. But, I mean, look, we can do things like this. You know, like the detailing. This is little bits of detailing up here. Like, it's just so many things we're going to be able to do that we couldn't do before. I don't know what fixing is going to look like, right? So none of the it's actually kind of funny. I could just kind of crawl in here, I guess, and get clanged out. So it seems like every block has a destruction model. It has like destruction stages, because every block, if you hit it in the same spot, will break in the same way. You know, so it seems like there's certain areas where you can hit each block and it's like baked into the model in the same way that we had like build stages before. And you can see it too, like these two stairs got the same little damage in them. But yeah, it's basically like As far as I could tell, for the non-functional blocks, it's like the instant they take damage, they start to deteriorate. But you can tell after a little bit more damage, they will. There we go. So like now that block is entirely gone. But like, what is this thing? This is like a reactor or something, probably. I can't tell. I'm assuming it is not functional right now. See, the problem is none of these things have like integrity yet. They don't have health. They don't have components, and I have no idea how much damage the debug tool actually does. So like a single small jolt causes significant damage. And so I don't know, like I just hit that glass there and it didn't break. But eventually it just completely breaks and shatters and goes flying out. So I'm not entirely sure what this is gonna do. That was actually kind of a cool way to break. And I don't know what the repair is going to look like, right? Because like a lot of these things, like with the armor blocks, they just deform. You know, they just deform and then presumably you'll put them back. But like these things, actually the debug laser is powerful enough to break that entirely. That was a bad example. What about you? Not you. I need one of the full block ones. Here we go. It's like this one. Boom. The rest of it is still here. How are we going to fix that, right? What's it going to look like when we fix it? Yeah, there's no welder yet. Welder, grinder, drill, all that stuff is technically like survival mode stuff, right? It's all technically survival mode. So, you know, the drills on the drill ship technically work to destroy voxels, but they don't yield anything, right? Someone said to shoot some heavy armor. It's deforming. Ooh. That took a long time compared to a small grid block. Now it's gone. Ooh. Took your toes off. So, I mean, it looks pretty cool. I think it's one of the nicest things about this is when you know how like sometimes you're playing and you're like, oh man, how come this thing isn't working or whatever, and you go up to it and realize that it's actually broken, but it's not like sparking or anything, so you don't know. Like when you walk out and you're like, oh, part of my catwalk is missing. I guess I should fix that. You know, like you'll know it's either gone. Some of these things, like I'm assuming they probably have like a more like this railing probably has more damage states, but the debug tool just does so much damage. So yeah, if you like blowing stuff up, look, we don't even need to have fonts in the game anymore. We could just draw our own with the detailing blocks. There's detailing beams, there's detailing walls. That's one of the coolest things, is the walls. Let me just throw some walls in here, because now we can... Our corridors don't have to be a gigantic block thick. They could just be this big. Alright, we could just... That's another one, hang on. There we go. Like we could just... There we go. That's our walls. That's it. Like, this is going to be... Like, this is a game changer for how we design things. Like, things are going to just be generally more realistic. And I'm hoping that the fact that the debug laser does take a good amount of time to get through armor block, with the debug laser being as strong as it is, that means armor blocks are actually going to be resilient, and it's not going to be like, someone fired 10 bullets and, you know, got through all my armor, and that's that. So, all right, is there anything else that I wanted to... I will show again for anybody else who wasn't here when I did this. You can also... Oh, here's the paint gun. That's how this is how we paint now. There's a whole bunch of options for it. It's like in a wheel. The wheel is going to get better, I'm told. But you can also pick colors from others and paint it. And you can paint the entire grid, or you can replace a color. So like if I wanted that, this is actually kind of cool. Let me say I want this green base to be the blue base now. I can go up to the green here and go and now all the middle mouse button, now all the green is blue. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, the other thing that I wanted to show was earlier I went up to the red ship, and using tools like this, you can go precision and then push P, and now we're in copy mode, and you can say like you can like adjust this to different sizes, you know, go down, go up. So you can make a bounding box kind of a thing, and then copy, make a blueprint of it, and then when you go into your toolbar, you can go to all your blueprints. I made a copy of this Cylon eye looking thing that was on the side of the red ship. You could just drag that down into your toolbar. Now whenever you want, you could place a Cylon eye right on there. So you could make modular blueprints of pieces of ships and just smack them onto each other, which is pretty sweet. What did you realize, Jack, with the 25 centimeter? Or whatever it is. 2.5 meter. 25 centimeters, 2.5, whatever. What are you talking about? You can make scaffolding that gets directly replaced as you build into it. Huh. So you're saying... I'm not sure I'm following, but so like... Did you mean 25 centimeter or did you mean 2.5 centimeter? I guess is the first question. Because we could do like the 2.5 centimeter, make scaffolding like this, and have like and then put, you know, blocks in between like that or whatever. Yeah, whatever. I think we're going to be coming up with a lot of cool things as time goes by. Like, there's so few actual blocks in the game right now. There's very few armor shapes, and yet we're making some pretty good looking stuff. Well, not... Wait. Oh, the lights in my house just dimmed for a second. That's probably not a good sign. We are... We're able to make some good stuff already. I mean... And there's so much more to go, you know, like making our own different, like, what do you call these? Like beam patterns and stuff like that. So. Yeah. So, all right. Well, I'm going to call it a day for Space Engineers 2. I have no schedule of Space Engineers 2, so it will be based on whenever Keen puts out an update. If it's worthwhile to jump in and check it out, then I will do so. And I will be regularly doing Space Engineers 1 on Thursdays for the foreseeable future until SE2 gets to a point where it's actually worth trying to do like repeating content with it, you know. So I'm totally fine doing episodes like this or streams like this where I just jump in and screw around with whatever the latest update is, but I'm not going to try and do like a series on it, like an ongoing, like my normal streams are, I'm in a scenario, I'm doing a thing week to week, you know. I'm not going to be able to do this until they at least get some survival stuff in here and it gets stable. So then we'll think about if we're going to try to do a SE2 stream series. So I'm not going to schedule another one of these. We'll see what Keen's release cycle is like for updates, and we'll play it by ear. We'll go from there, and I'll try to schedule where I think it would be worthwhile to jump in and fool around. So, but yeah, I want to thank everybody for hanging out and keeping me company in the chat here. If you did enjoy the stream in real life, consider throwing a like on it so that the algorithm will recommend me to other people. And I do appreciate that a lot of people are streaming Space Engineers 2 right now, presumably. I know a couple of them are at least, and I assume there's a whole bunch of them. And so you had a choice in your Space Engineers 2 content, and you chose me, and I appreciate that very much. So thank you. If you do want to go get notified when I go live, consider subscribing. It is free. It's the free kind of subscribing. And I do tend to schedule at least a week out in advance all of my streams. So you'll get the notification, and I do post updates on my Discord when I have to reschedule something. But I also play other things if you don't know me. For the new subscribers today, we've got a Halo play through every Halo game thing going on. Earth Defense Force 6 is a thing that happens from time to time. I haven't done it in a while, but I was playing City Skylines for a bit, and I'll probably go back to that at some point. And I have plans for other things that keep getting put on the back burner, but we'll see how it goes. So, Marvel Rivals is another thing that's been on my channel a little bit lately, but that's a bit saturated all over the internet at the moment. So, okay, anyway, all that said, how would you all like to see my brand new ending screen that I made a couple weeks ago? I'm going to play it for you in just a moment. But yeah, one last time, thanks everybody. Really appreciate it, and I will see you. What is today? Today's Monday. I will see you next on Thursday for Space Engineers 1. So take care, everybody.